Good morning, family. You're here with David Andre Hines. Welcome back to another session of Rise and Grind, where we focus on personal and self development and working on getting that life that you deserve. You know you deserve that life. What you gonna do to get it? Make sure to hit the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell notification so you can be notified each time I drop this heat. Let's get into it, man. Message of the week. Separate yourself. Now, I know we hear that a lot, but the term that I've heard that stuck with me is separate yourself from the system. So, not necessarily individuals, right? Separate yourself from the system, meaning the certain environments or the certain situations that you were born into. So just cause you was born into a certain type of environment doesn't mean that you have to live your life according to that environment. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and and it's okay to be okay with other people feeling like you think you're better than them or you think you're doing better because you are better. You're better than that system. You're better than that them circumstances. You know what I mean? And once you realize that you are better, it's going to be a lot easier for you to separate yourself from that system. And I know we always heard, we got to separate ourselves from individuals in order to live the life we want to live, to live a successful life, to live a positive life. What I like to use is detach, because usually the people that's bringing the negativity in our life and that they usually say separate from is the people that we're close to, our moms, our dads, sisters, brothers, cousins, best friends, right? So it's hard to just up and not communicate with these individuals because we're on a life changing path, or just trying to better ourselves in life. So what I like to say is just detach from certain situations. We don't necessarily have to separate from an individual, but detaching from certain situations. And what I mean by that is, so like if you got a homeboy or a homegirl that's constantly coming to you with negative information, negative problems, you can shut it down with positivity. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be rude about it or anything like that. You can just ask, okay, we got the problem. What's the solution? What you gonna do about it? I guarantee you, if you come off with that, what you gonna do about it? Every time somebody comes with a negative story, or they just want to vent and they're using your portals, because it's important what we watch, what we listen to, and what we say out of our mouths. That's what they say: where your focus goes, energy flows. So when you open your portals to these certain things, it's easy for them to take control of your life. You know what I mean? So so when you got that homeboy, that brother, that sister, that cousin that just constantly wants to vent to you, just need an ear, and they want to vent to you all the time. I guarantee you, if you come off with the, okay, we got the problem, what's the solution? You keep coming with that, they ain't gonna want to keep venting to you. I promise you, they're not. Or if you're an individual that's trying to um wean yourself off drugs or alcohol, you don't necessarily have to avoid the people that do drugs and alcohol, but detaching yourself from it would look like anytime it's around, you remove yourself from that scene. If your will is not strong enough to just say no, you remove yourself from that scene. Or if you're looking to have a more intimate relationship, you can't be watching you can't be watching all type of movies and TV shows where there's constant relationship problems. Because like I said, where the focus goes, energy flows. So whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching, whatever you talk about, it starts to play a part in your own world. So you can't be looking at unlimited Tyler Perry movies that got a bunch of relationship issues, and no disrespect to Tyler Perry or anything like that, just using that as an example. You can't be looking at those type of things and expecting for yourself to have a blissful relationship. Or even if you're trying to lose weight and get fit, but you're going to these places where they serving food and it's real tempting because these are the types of food that you've been used to eating. You know what I mean? So you can't just put yourself in these predicaments. So that's what I mean about detaching yourself. You don't have to separate from the people that's not doing the things that's aligned with your life, but detaching yourself is a lot easier because like I said, it's hard to just be like, oh, separate. Y'all want me to stop talking to my mom every day? You want me to stop talking to my brother every day? You want me to stop talking to my sister every day? No, you just got to detach yourself from the situations and the circumstances that you are trying to change in your own life. So once you become comfortable with detaching yourself from these things, now the separation begins because when you're separating yourself, you're basically trying to separate yourself from the old you. And that's what growth is. When you're growing, you're not that person that you used to be. So the goal is separating yourself from the person that you used to be. It's not about separating yourself from any other individual, but from the individual that you once were, and you're trying to get to the next level, right? And so I ran across this information where they were talking about separation season and areas that you can go from the grow from the old you. And they were explaining one of the seasons were the fourth quarter, right? Which is the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December. So in October, what do we have? Halloween, National Sugar Day. I say about 90% of the world is eating a lot more sugar and chocolate on that day than they do any other day out the year. I mean, we all can vouch for that, right? And they said if you were to just eat a third of what you usually eat, you're separating yourself from the world. Then you have November, Thanksgiving. I think it's safe to say that that's probably 95% of America's favorite holiday, because you just get to eat, right? But they say if you were to treat it like a holiday and not a hollow week, because Thanksgiving's Thursday, we go from Thursday, bleeds into the weekend. You still got a little bit of leftovers left, and now it's bleeding into the week. So now you just find yourself just constantly eating down on stuff. And if you're trying to get better with fitness, you just have to celebrate that day, that holiday. It's not a hollow week, it's a holiday. And then there's Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year. Not to mention, New Year's is followed right behind it. So, what the typical person does, we're out spending a bunch of money that we necessarily don't have. And I'm not saying don't indulge in it, but when we take everything into moderation, we can control a lot more. You know what I mean? So if we're just, spending money that we can afford, that alone separates yourself from who you used to be. I promise you. And not to mention New Year's. So everybody thinking they got to get super blasted, super messed up, and then people just stop doing the New Year's resolution things. But for the people that do have the New Year's resolutions, I'm sorry, um, the January 1st, you can't start because you still messed up from the night before. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna start it fresh on a fresh Monday, right? So let's say you do get going Monday, which is probably like the second or the third or whatever, whenever your body's sober up from all that alcohol. Now you're on top of your game, right? 95% of the world is on top of their game right around New Year's, which brings us to our second separation season, which is the second quarter, right after March, April, May, June. A lot of people start slowing down then. That's when it's time to put your feet on the gas and grind hard, because everybody that had those plans, everybody that had those vision boards and those goals, they not really own that no more after 90 days, after March over with. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so April, May, June, second quarter, people ain't really on top of their game. And then now you got the third separation season, which is the peak of the summertime, typically July, in between July 1st, August 15th, right before the kids go to school, right around 4th of July, and in between 4th of July and right where the kids get ready to go back to school. That little area right there is hot girl summer, it's hoochie daddy summer. So everybody super turned, everybody out and about, vacation. So that's the time you're spending the most money, I would say. And they say if you was just to take one year and utilize those separation seasons to better yourself, you're gonna see a massive growth spurt in your personal and self-development. So with that being said, separating yourself really means separating yourself from yourself, which is the old you. And to do that, you have to detach from situations, not from people, not from the people you love. You can talk to the people you talk to every day, but you have to learn how to detach from certain situations. You figure that out, you're on the path to separating yourself from the old you, and that's growth. But that's all I got for you guys this week. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I love y'all, man. Like I say, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so you can be notified each time I'm dropping this heat. Always remember, positivity is better than negativity. Bottom line, I love you folks. See you next week.